Hi everyone. So for today's garden vlog, we are actually bringing the garden in, kind of. So we're going to make some jam. I know I did some last year where I showed you how to make, how I make my strawberry jam, and this time this is apricots. Now obviously this is not something I have in the garden, but now it is the height of summer here in the Mediterranean, and there's just a glut of excess fruits, and some of them are already on the way out. As you can see, they have lots of blemishes and are not really very pretty to look at. So this is a great time to make jam. And apricots are abundant here, so there are loads of apricots that grows in orchards around this area. And so today morning I was at the market and I got these this crate of apricots, and now we're going to make some jam with that. The reason why I said that for today we bring the garden in is someone else's garden, this one of course, but from my own garden, what I do is that I always add some kind of spice or an herb to or even some flowers to the jams that I make. So for example, for the strawberry things, I add a lot of rose petals that grow in the garden during that time. This year I didn't make any because I still had a lot of excess from last year. But for the apricot, because apricot is a little, it's sweet, and now to counterbalance the real sweetness, I want to cut that through. And so I have some lavender that's growing in the garden. So I'm going to show you later how I do that, and some rosemary to give it a bit of a pungent taste. And it has worked very well in the past. So if you do give it a try, let me know how it goes. So for the first part, what we're going to do is we're going to wash the fruit, pit it. So there is a pit inside. We're going to take that out. This is of course overripe fruit. That's what we want because they have that extra sweetness. And then take off all the nasty bits and pieces. And although this is a 5 kilo crate, I don't think that after cutting them and sorting them we're going to end up with 5 kilo. We won't, but we'll see how far we get. So today maybe I'll just make 2. I have to see. I have my weighing scale, I have my paring knife, and then let's just get them sorted first. Now, as I'm sorting them, so I'm basically just cutting out the darker bits, the brown bits, the not so pretty bits, taking the pit out, so running the knife through the middle, taking the pit out, and not even bothering to slice it, because I will cook it of course, and after cooking I am going to puree it, which means I don't need to bother too much. So apricot that way is a very forgiving jam to make. You don't have to fuss around. So just making sure that I don't have any big chunks, and so just slicing it through, taking off, and I don't need to peel the skin or anything, so that's kind of convenient. And this is the scale, so that's 400 grams, so I think I might just do 2 kilos today. So this is now almost a kilo. I think just maybe 2 or 3 more, and then we'll be good with 1 kilo, and then I will do another kilo. As you can see, I have to take off a lot of these parts off, which is of course one of the reasons why they sell that at a little lower price, because it's meant for jams. But as I cut through, I can see that they're not, the ripeness is not there where I would have liked them to be. I would have preferred them to be a little more ripe, and they aren't there as yet, but that's okay. I mean, that's all that I've got. And so as you can see, I have some flowers here that I got. I have some dahlias and some zinnias, but it looks very bare out there. So that's 1 kilo. So I'm going to now, just to make some space, I'll just put these in the big pot, in the casserole that I have there, and then cut another kilo, and then we'll get on with the rest. 2 kilos have been sorted, so that's how much it is. It's quite a lot. And now I'm going to just add some lime juice to it. A good idea is always to roll it, the back of your palm, roll it back and forth. That kind of releases the juices inside the skin, makes it a little bit easier, and you get a little bit more juice out of it. But I'm pretty sure everyone already knows that by now. I'm going to put the flowers to the side a little bit. So just squeeze. There were no seeds. I can just go ahead with the bulb as well. So get rid of that. Wipe down. Okay. Now I need to add the sugar and the pectin, but this is a vegetable pectin, so it is like agar-agar. I don't think it is agar-agar. It just says pectin fruit, and it says it's 100% vegetarian. Not sure what it consists of. Normally I would use agar-agar, but this isn't it. It's just sugar and gelling agent is pectin. May contain traces of wheat. Okay, right. Like this. So I'm just gonna take 2 sachets and then 800 grams of sugar. 800 grams, should I put 800? Maybe I'll just put 700. And because it's 2 kilos. Normally I like to add less sugar than is recommended, but on the other hand, the sugar is also the agent, the preservative, so it's not a good idea to eliminate it completely. 700. Put that in. I'm gonna mix it, give it a good mix later. Okay. That's this on the top, just like sugar. And now comes the perfumed part, the herbs. So what I normally do is I've just got, for the lavender, I'm just going to go backwards and pull the little petals in. It smells heavenly. So do the same thing with all of them. I don't have many strands, I have 5. That's more than enough. You just want a little hint. You don't want it to overpower the jam. Okay. Next one. And remember, I am going to puree this, so I'm not really bothered about big chunks. Okay, that should be good enough. And with the rosemary as well, so I'm kind of holding it on the top tip and pulling backwards, right? So then the needles come off, because you don't want the hard woody bit in it. So the same thing this side, and it doesn't matter if it's a little big, because it's all going to be mashed up. And I think that should be more than enough. I'm not even going to put that. That's a little too much. Now to get a spoon and give it a good stir. Good stir. And then I'm going to leave it and let it sit, because the sugar is going to bring out the juice. I'm going to let it sit for 10 to 15 minutes while I prepare the jars. I'm going to put boiling water in the sink and then put the jars in. They have been in the dishwasher, so they are fairly clean. I just want to sterilize them one more time. So, good. So my idea is to cook it first and then run it through the blender. So that's what I am to do. To sit, to release the juices a little bit, and now I'm going to cook them. So I already have switched the gas on. Yes, it is on. Okay. And now stirring it. Now remember, this is all going to soften as it cooks, right? So, and in the the meantime, I have the sink, so I filled it up with boiling water and have put the jars as well as the lids and everything so that everything is nice and sterilized. Not, of course, the full sterilization process, which would involve putting them in the oven as well. I normally don't do that because I don't keep the jams for very long and I store them in the fridge. So these are the two reasons. I don't add anything to it. But if you really want to keep it for longer and have a longer shelf life, then you should go through the entire process of really sterilizing it in the oven as well. So I'm just going to use some pair of tongs and take them out. So this now had a very good 10 minutes on the stove and it has become really, really beautiful, syrupy and soft and mushy. And now I'm going to put the hand blender through it to really puree this, and then we'll see the consistency, and it might need to go back on the stove for a while to thicken even further before we can fill them up in the jar. So that's what we're going to do. So now that we have pureed it and it looks absolutely wonderful, I'm going to heat it one more time. So now the jars are filled and I have put them on the lid, and now I'm going to turn them around and they're going to make that popping noise, and that just means the air is being sucked in. I hope, and it's sealed. It's extremely hot. Very, very careful when you're dealing with jam. So I'm going to leave it there, and don't ask me why I have to put it on the lid. This was what was told to me, and I do as I was told. So now, tasting. It's hot. Yeah, kind of sticky. You see, this is the consistency. It's really good. Not very sweet. The fruits had a lot of sweetness in it anyway because this is the season. But I like the consistency, you know, it's really it's like a gel. And now I'm going to put it in a piece of bread.